Welcome back to today's forge. It's going to be an absolute glorious day. We're going to be forging a Highland Coo. It's going to be hairy, glorious. It's going to look fabulous, just like me. Right, come on. So we're going to start with a 50mm round bar. We're going to throw that in the forge, and that's going to become the horns. I think that looks good. So the horns are done. We're going to forge the eyes now under the power hammer. And we're going to squish down and then roll around, and then that makes an eye. So that's the eye forged. I think it looks pretty alright. I might need some help with the hand hammer, but apart from that, it's a good start. So I've attached some swaging dies to the power hammer, and I'm going to use a bit of steel like this, and this is going to become the nose. I'm going to forge down 2 of the sides, and it's going to look like a little bit like a H, and then I'll draw down the 4 sides to look like the nose. So the next heat I'll be taking to the press, and the nose isn't flat, so we're just going to put a little bend in the middle, and it's just going to look like it's coming down off the brows of the face and then down to its mouth. It'll look great when you see it, alright? Just trust me. I have a bunch of these off-cut, so like this scrap, they just got cut out of the plasma cutter, and they make absolute great bits of hair. They're like the perfect size. They're like 8mm by about 12mm, and I've made a die underneath the power hammer, and I'll use that to forge out each individual hair for this Highland cow. That's the hair done. And so now we're going to make the frame, which we're going to attach all the eyes, the hair and the horns onto. And we're going to make this out of square bar. We're going to heat up specific parts, bend around the anvil, and then weld everything on. Get it done. So that's us welded up the frame. This is the chin, this is the back of the jawline. The hair will be going on here. And I'm going to start from the back and work forward. And as I work forward, you can kind of see the head as it evolves. And I'll put the nose on and the eyes and other bits and bobs when I get to there. So we're almost at the stage of putting the nose on the face, but to do that we need to put like a backing plate on the back of the nose and make it look pretty, because this is only the outside of it. So we're going to get a 3mm bit of sheet and then push it in here and then weld it up and make it look pretty, and then we're going to stick it to here, and then we're going to start to fill around the edges. So I've welded them on around the mouth, and what I need to do now is I'm going to heat them up and then I'm going to make them a little bit more fluid because the wind's blowing this way. So I'm going to bend them around and then just flick up the little end bits, and it's going to look quite nice, hopefully, around the mouth. Doesn't look very nice inside, does it? I'm sure we could say that about anyone if we opened them up. So we welded most of the hair on. What we're going to do now is just hammer it a little bit because it's poofed out too much. So we're just going to push that back in and make the head look a little bit more sleek because the wind's going to be blowing over it and then kind of out this side. We're going to do that with a torch. So we have our forged eye here. All we're going to do now is going to take this 6mm bit of steel and wrap it around it, and it's going to become the eyelid and the bottom of the eye. It's going to look great. I need some place to weld onto, and it's going to work. Wow, this press is horrible. That's the eyes done. We're going to weld them in place now, as soon as I can stop playing with them. So that's the eyes in a decent position. I kind of like how they look. We're going to weld up other bits and bobs around it just to make sure they're absolutely solid. So I got the horns here, and I think I'm going to put them on the frame, just so I can kind of roughly see where they would go, and then we need to make the ears and put them on, but it's a lot easier to see the shape of the face with the horns on and where they're going to be. So we've attached the horns and it looks glorious. Now what we can do is make the ears, because cows have ears. Right, so I've got this blank. It is in the kind of the shape of the ear. Do you reckon? Right, so we're gonna hammer it into like a round shape, and then we're gonna add the hair to it. Inside the ear, I'm not going to put like the big bits of hair. I'm just going to do lots of little squiggly welds, and it kind of looks together like a hair. So that's the ears done. Now we just need to grind off them welds on the edge there and just make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm lining up the ears just to make sure they look kind of like in proportion. I think they look pretty alright. I think I'll spin the head round and tack them on and have another little look. So now we just need to fill in the top bit and then just work it around the horns. Some of the hairs I'm not too happy with, so I'm going to tweak them and just heat them up and then just move them into different places. But so far it's looking alright. So that's the Highland Cow done. I'm absolutely thrilled at how it turned out. It looks awesome. The wind's blowing from this way right now, but if it wasn't, the hair would drop down because I'm that good of an artist. You can edit the hair waving, right? See you in the next one.
I can see you.
Ah! I just want this done. You're not getting paid any money for it, I am. Does it look pretty? Don't you reckon it would look a lot better if it had a horn here?